Hey guys, First to Regardsman here, and today I'll be complaining about the Assault class once again, except this time on patch 8.0, and we'll be talking about Siege Mode. Now, Siege Mode did have its timer removed from the patch 8.0 PTS server. Unfortunately, their solution was make all enemies post Wave 15 do more and more damage until they basically one-shot you, and post like Wave 20 Chaos, Assault becomes basically unplayable. It's honestly ridiculous how much damage the Enraged guys do, and quite frankly, it's unfun and blatantly untested. And I want to say that if there are any Saber Interactive employees that like actually played this, I'd love to see them post their gameplay. I would love to see the Saber Interactive gameplay of Assault post Wave 20 Chaos, just so I can watch them die over and over and over, because there's just no way they actually tried it. Because if they did, they would not have left this class in the way he is, or excuse me, they would not have left him in this kind of state, because right now, the Assault is just the worst class in the game, and there's really no reason for him to be like that. All the other classes perform better than him on like all the content in this game, and Assault is good versus Tyranids. He does not struggle versus Tyranids at all. He bodies them if you know how to play him right, but so does every other class in this game. And guess what every other class also does in this game? They can fight Chaos and not want to like basically rip their own head off, because that's what this guy does. He sucks versus Chaos, and the reason he sucks versus Chaos is that melee contested health recovery in this game is horrendous. It is horrifically designed, and the only things that like circumvent this are like Bullwark's healing and his damage reduction, because a Bullwark doesn't really care about Chaos despite not having a primary weapon just like Assault, because Bullwark is blessed with passive armor regen, slower contested health recovery, decay, or things like Glory's Shield on his banner, or even Invigorating Icon to straight up heal himself. He gets no knockback off of pure armor, damage reduction perks on top of damage reduction perks, on top of bonus range damage, bonus charge attack damage. You see two of his prestige perks on the Bullwark class here. He gets 20% range damage increase, which is better than the prestige perk version of Practice Aim for the Assault class, which is only 15% for his prestige perk. For Assault to get a 20% range damage boost, he would actually need to go into his core perk tree and take Auxiliary Arsenal, and then he can stack that with this for a 35% boost. But pretty much the Bullwark has the classic option of just, oh, I'm just going to take 20% bonus damage without sacrificing anything. And then he has a 20% charge attack damage increase, which the Assault has a 25%, but he has to give up armor reinforcement for it, for the overcharge perk, and this is the only way to actually hit breakpoints on the Power Fist. So pretty much, Assault is just stuck there, like giving up all of his, like giving up options that Bullwark gets for free to like basically scrape by in content that the Bullwark just clears casually. I do want to say the Assault does have great damage, but great damage doesn't really matter in this game when you don't survive, and this class sucks ass at surviving. He has like no damage reduction perks. The only damage reduction this guy gets is like scramble targeting and some of the weapon perks that he has for Power Fist here, like focus intention. But if you don't have that, I mean, you're pretty much left out to dry. As far as his actual like defensive perks go, he has armor reinforcement, and he can kind of like swap himself from execute to execute with a ground pound if you just stack everything for damage. So like the way Assault lives in this game currently is he has to basically charge up his attacks with like a thunder hammer or something, a ground pound, get the execute, and then cycle that. And when he can no longer cycle it, he's basically left out to dry. And if he can't like cycle a Wings of Flame, he will get stun locked into oblivion at times. The point is, Assault is just in a struggling position compared to his contemporary, the Bullwark, that has all the same weapons as him, performs better than the Assault class does on all of them, and gives up basically nothing, and also has a greater team impact. Because the team perks on Assault kind of suck. Let's just talk about this for a second. The team perks, these have basically gone through 0 reworks. Like this one actually got nerfed, it used to be 50%. So more gun strike damage is not bad, but like this is the best one he has for the team. That's not like maybe the 20% damage against Extremis and Terminus level enemies, but like melee damage increases in this game, they suck ass. I don't know who the fuck wants this to, like for a Terminus fight. Most people aren't even meleeing Terminus in this game. You're gonna be shooting them with your giant fucking gun, because Heavy is such a giga chad. He doesn't give a fuck about having a melee weapon, because his ranged weapons are fucking OP. And for some reason, the Saber Interactive is like, oh, okay, let's just give Assault a fucking Power Fist and have him like sit there desperately corner camping, because I have done the true solo triple Hellbrute on Assault in the PTS, and guess what? It took me 9 minutes. I was running around the entire time, and it sucked ass. It was not fun, and like post wave 15, even then, you're just like, you start to run out of options because he just doesn't have any ammo economy. Let's talk about that too. Bullwark has auxiliary reload here, which is melee kills of extremis level or higher enemies restore your secondary weapons ammo by 1 magazine, and Assault has nothing. This guy actually eats into your requisition points in the siege mode compared to every single other class in this game. All of these guys have better ammo recovery than he does. Even the Vanguard, that doesn't even have particularly good ammo economy, he has perks like decisive reload and things like magazine restoration, and pretty much stuff like this is on every gun in this game. Like here you have magazine restoration on the bolt carbine too, which is his best weapon, and meanwhile the Assault just like pulls out his side piece of the plasma pistol, and he's like, oh, I have to build it this way, and this guy has to take magazine capacity on every single gun because he has no way to recover ammo outside of like buying an ammo cache. And if you're buying an ammo cache in Siege mode, those are points you are not spending on something else like an Astartes reinforcement that can save your life. So basically, every other class has like a better economy for Siege mode than he does, on top of also having a greater impact, on top of also having an easier time individually. So it's just kind of ridiculous at this point, I'm going to be honest. And what this guy severely needs is like a proper contested health recovery. Some people think that he needs like, oh, he needs to heal himself. That's a little too far. You really don't need Assault to do that, because Assault can put out tremendous damage. The issue is he has no way to properly survive against a lot of things that will like outright kill you in this game. Like if he gets caught off guard by a soul cannon, unlike most classes, he doesn't really have a proper response. His response is shoot his plasma pistol or dive into them with a ground pound. But ground pound will not one-shot most most extremis in this game. So when you go up in the air and you're getting shot at and you come back down and you don't instantly kill them, if you mistime it at all, you will just die. And that's the unfortunate truth. If you mistime your charge attack, you will die. And sometimes the Rubric Marines will just teleport, and there's no way to predict that. And they'll just teleport away from you. You lose your execute, and you'll just take a ton of damage, or again, you die. And he is a high skill cap class. He is the highest skill cap class in the game. But even at the max level of play for Assault, he still suffers versus Chaos. There are like no true solo runs posted for this class on Chaos that are not like absolutely cancerous for a reason, because it sucks. It just sucks. And he sucks versus Chaos, and he has no option but to fight Chaos in the Siege mode currently, because if you go into Siege mode, you're just stuck playing Siege mode. There is no option to not play Chaos, and a lot of people don't like Chaos in this game, and maybe it'll get better with the Chaos spawn, but really, what this class would need is a contested health perk similar to Purification. This is like a starter. So this is where we should begin. It's like Purification gives you all your contested HP back upon Camo Cloak. The Sniper also does tremendous boss damage with things like Tactical Ambush and a Block Knife, and if Assault had a perk that just let him, or like a passive that would just let him get his contested HP back upon using his jump pack, like, just recover it all. Like, I don't think that's that crazy. I mean, is that really crazier than the Heavy here getting 25% range damage reduction on top of another 10% range damage reduction, on top of having 30% increased HP, on top of having drip-fed armor to him that doesn't require gun strikes at all, just like a 15-second cooldown, on top of Conviction, on top of the most damaging weapons in this entire game? Are we really going to be breaking the Assault class if we just give him a good fucking contested health perk? I don't think so. And this also takes me to the next point, that melee contested health recovery, again, sucks in this game. And the way the game is designed is that they want you to shoot your side piece into the enemy. They want you to shoot your gun when you take major contested health. And if you're a character that doesn't have a primary, you're kind of screwed at times, because if you aren't using the chainsword and you can't get an execute with the Thunderhammer or the Power Fist, you're just going to lose health. And it's not like, it really, even at like the highest level of play for this class, you will lose health, and this is just upsetting to play with. It's not fun. Oh, that's really like the baseline I could say. I know we're on a tangent here, but the title is Rant, so we are unscripted. Granted, we're always unscripted. And the next thing I want to talk about here is the fact that his jump pack is kind of boring in the PvE compared to the PvP and campaign. Really, since the game came out, people have been asking for it to function in the same way as campaign and PvP. And Saber Interactive said they would look into it, and then since then, it's been absolutely crickets. And it's been like 9 months now. They said absolutely nothing about it. And I really don't think they're ever going to change it. And if they do, it's going to be in like maybe the next patch if they want to do some major balancing change. But overall, they're probably working on the Tech Marine class. I don't don't see why they wouldn't mention that they're going to make this update to the jump pack, because overall, the Assault class is just unfun to play if it doesn't have two mandatory perks, basically, which are Zealous Blow and the Commitment perk. First of all, the signature perk Commitment, a perfectly timed dodge using a jump pack dash, which was jump pack's ability charge. This is mandatory. Like, this is just a mandatory perk to, like, make this class fully function, because an entire aspect of the class, which is the jump pack dash, is practically unusable without this perk, or like it's so detrimental to use it that you're pretty much better off never touching it, and this should just be a passive perk for that reason. Same thing with Zealous Blow. A ground pound kill restores jump pack's charge by 10%. This is like the main horde control with the Thunder Hammer, so if you don't have one of these two perks, your jump pack ability is greatly diminished, and like you're so railroaded into what you can take on this class. So we look at like the perk tree. So first of all, this perk is ass. 25% melee damage is good, but this is just the worst perk tree. Like, it's set up so strangely that like you always want to be able to take consecutive execution or auxiliary arsenal is just so much better than retribution. Same thing here. Overcharge and armor reinforcement are like the only good perks in this tree, and this one for 100% off a sprint or dash melee attack. So fucking what? Like, this isn't even the main damage source of this class to begin with. That's your ground pound. So it's ridiculous to me they would like even think this perk is good. This perk should be outright reworked. This perk should be outright reworked. This perk is good, but it should also be reworked and just make like the fundamental damage of this class a little bit better, because having perks that just say you do more damage are boring. It's just a stupid way to design a game, which is like, okay, 15% damage increase. And the whole point of a perk is that a perk's supposed to change how you play the game, and all this class's perks do, and it's kind of true for a lot of classes in the game, but especially this class, is all the perks do in this class is just make what he does like either functional or slightly better. So like you get better gun strikes. You're now actually able to jump pack dash. You're now actually able to cycle your ground pound. It's probably like the most unique perk in this whole tree, because it actually changes how you play the class entirely, because now you can just like hop from horde to horde, and that's impossible without this previously. So this is kind of a good perk, I guess, for that reason, but overall this is just a boring perk tree design, and he has the most boring one of all of them. And really, you know, it's a bad class when like 2 out of 3 of the team perks are just unused almost. Like, people do take strategic strikes, but overall these other 2 are just barely used, and these other 2 are also barely used, because this one is terrible. This one will actually get you killed because of blow up barrels around you, and they're everywhere in siege mode. This one is mandatory basically now on siege mode, because dodging some bosses is basically fucking impossible if you don't have this perk. And this perk is pretty good, it's just super boring. Like, okay, I jump pack and reload my gun and I get more damage. How interesting. Like, can't we get some like creative minds in Saber Interactive? Because if this was Darktide, these perks would be wildly more entertaining. But I digress. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think the Assault is going to be a good place? If you have reached wave 20 with Assault versus Chaos, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it is brutal. It's not just you. Like, the Assault class is just in a bad spot. He's honestly in the worst spot he's ever been, only because siege mode is like the most played content right now, and he sucks at it. And he really is he's almost a detriment, I would say, or like he's like a non-character at a certain point in the game. And that's not how you want to design your game. You don't want one class to just become obsolete post like wave 20 compared to all the others, which is just really stupid, in my opinion. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Take it easy. If you like content like this, subscribe for more. I know we ranted for like 15 minutes on this, but hey, you know, Assault deserves it, to be honest. And this Saber kind of deserves to be roasted for making him this way to begin with. Peace.